Hey, what's up guys? Nick at Night here. Today is a Gearheart day, and we're also in the midst of taking down Operation Choke Point. I've already attacked, so I can't really do that again, but basically I'll just show you real quick so we can get a little bit of a different gameplay in before I show you a Zooka attack. We've got Scorchers and tanks, and all I really did was carve away at the right side of this base. I didn't see too many obstacles besides that Doom Cannon. Once my guys got there, I shocked it, realized I was out of gunboat ability because I did not boost my gunboat, so I just flared all my guys straight to the Doom Cannon, had them deal some other damage, let the Scorchers die in the middle of other buildings, which they collateral damaged and did some good work to, and then we just got the tanks out of harm's way and carved a nice path over to the power core. The next person went on to finish this base off, but using tanks and Scorchers can work in operations, even though I've been showing it in player bases, Dr. Terror, stuff like that. So it's all about just using what you have and making sure your pathing's right and all that stuff. So let's go back home. I have to finish one Beach.Zookas, and I'm going to attempt Gearheart today unboosted. Now we're going to do that because let's take a look at her base. So if we go up here, she's right there. Ooh, diamonds. Ching! 2. So let's take a look at the base. We're going to scout it before we go in. I don't normally scout it, but here's the base. I saw someone in our feed in the task force fail with warriors on his third attempt. It was really close. Warriors are kind of risky because it's all or nothing. If you're rushing the HQ in a Gearheart base, you know, if you don't get it, you get 0. If you do get it, you get all of it. But look at those reward tiers. It goes from some iron to a fuse to wood to some more power rods to some more stone to some more fuses. Wait, the first one's a fuse, one's a capacitor. I don't know. They're all just prototype parts anyway, right? So we want to get all of them. And I'm looking at this base, and the left side is okay. There's cannons over there. Don't have to worry about that. Typical Gearheart bases spawn in one of about 4 locations. It's generally in the back right corner, the top left, this area right here in the front, or in this area by these supplies in the back middle. The back ones are going to be harder to get to, but with this front one, I was expecting a little more splash damage. So all these laser beams only reach to about, 2 defenses away from the HQ. So I wouldn't have to shock those if I use all Zookas. These ones, same deal. What I do have to shock before we even land is going to be the shock blaster, which can almost cover the entire beach. These lasers, which will melt my Zookas instantly, and these shock launchers. The rockets will come into play just after taking out a very few couple of defenses. So what we're going to do is throw a shock around these and try to get that shock launcher involved, and we may as well try to get the Doom Cannon involved. It's a slow shooting target, so if you had the option to shock these and you couldn't reach a shock launcher, I would prefer a Boom Cannon over the Doom Cannon because it takes a shorter time to shoot in between shots. Now over here, shock blaster, shock launchers, and machine guns can all be shocked as well. So it would just be 1, 2, and then 3 on the rockets, and it's about refresh them maybe twice for the amount of time the Zookas will actually be alive. I think 3 attacks like that could get this done. I'm not going to boost, and we'll just see how it goes. I could be dead wrong and we'll fail, but it seems like I've looked at it long enough now to where I think it makes sense. So we're going to go in with attack number 1. On this one here, like I said, we have to be real early on this stuff, so we're going to go shock, and then just drop all the Zookas right there. So the Doom Cannon, Sniper Tower, don't worry about any of those things. We're just going to look at that laser timer, throw another shock, and then look at that shock blaster timer, throw another shock. Keep both shock launchers and lasers completely suppressed. I have 69 gunboat energy left, and we're going to go ahead and throw another shock on the lasers, and then yet another one on the shock launchers. Now my Zookas are taking their sweet time here, so as soon as these shocks are up, I'm going to have to throw critters on the left and right and hope that they do not start targeting me, because we just don't have enough to do any more without any boost. I might have to boost for this one actually, because looking at it, the amount of shock I have to throw versus the amount of time it takes these Zookas to do anything, it is a Gearheart factory. So right there the lasers go absolutely ham, but we crushed the first little bit of that base. So let's try it now with some Zooks. We did lose all of them on that one, but we made the first tier already, first couple tiers. Let's go back, refill the boats, and then I'm going to need some more gunboat. So we're going to boost our gunboat twice, and then I'm just going to boost the troop damage. Boosting their health won't do anything, honestly. They're going to get melted in just one shot from it anyway. So now we're up for attack number 2, and this one we still have the laser beams up. If we could take the lasers down and get all the way to that shock blaster, I would just be so happy, because shocking machine guns and the rocket launchers would definitely be a lot easier. If I bring a boat of heavies, which I consider doing as well, it wouldn't really work because the boom cannons, and the Doom Cannon that I took out last round would have just melted the heavies instantly. So having a meat shield, I don't think it's going to pay off as much as just really having a good amount of troops. So the first shock is out, the boats are on the beach. We're going to go ahead and throw the second shock as well. And now I have to start actually looking at the rocket launchers. So I have to go shock here, shock in the back, and then shock up front. Throw a couple critters early on. Alright, let's see what we can do here. We've got most of the defenses distracted. I can't actually throw enough to take out the shock blaster, so I'm just gonna lay into it with as much as I can do. The shock launchers will kill me really, really quick. So right now we're at reward threshold number 4. Come on, Zookas, get a couple more shots off. Do it. Do it for the team. Oh man, that shock launcher was super close to going down. So we took out a few more things. Man, I really hope these Zookas can get this done. If not, that sucks, because we're really doing everything we can here. So let me fill him up, and then let's actually look at this third attack before we go in and do it. Alright, so the shock launcher, they just have so much health in this base. So the boom cannon, doom cannon, so it's just this cluster right here is all we have to shock. And then I have to look at the rockets. So it's both rocket launchers. The laser beam won't be effective until about right where the shock launcher is, so I will have to shock this group right here, but that'll be later on. So if they can't take this group out, it's GG, we're not going to win. The rockets, so I know I can throw at least 5 shock. I mean, that's pretty much buying them enough time to get to where they have to go. It's just going to be a race against the clock, really. Maybe one boat of heavies might work, but let's just go for it. I felt better planning this out than actually doing it, which is really weird, but it's seeming to be harder than I had anticipated. So let's bring all the Zookas in from the bottom right here, and then immediately go ahead and shock. Oh, I missed a shock launcher. That's going to cost me 1 extra shock and damage a ton of my Zookas. So let's make sure we don't make that mistake again here. On the second one, we're going to make sure we hit the blaster and the launchers. Zookas are walking on up. Let's see what they can do. We've got a bunch of rockets about to come out of their own stasis. And the lasers are going through the critters that I'm throwing and actually melting a good amount of my Zookas. That's part of the reason of our downfall right now. So I'm going to throw some critters in random spots to try to just save these Zookas a little bit longer. But I don't think they're really going to have the vantage point they need. Nope, as you can see right there, I'm not even going to throw anything else. I thought we had that planned out pretty well, but it didn't really work out that well. So let's make up for failing on Gearheart. Dang, I'm really upset with that actually. Zookas just, they seem like they would have the power they needed, but they're slow moving and they just didn't knock the buildings out quick enough, so we only got that little area done. The only other option would have been coming from straight from the right to avoid these lasers a little bit longer, but then you're dealing with the rockets the entire time, and any of those will just melt your Zookas. Heavy Zooka, there was too many boom cannons and doom cannons to really shock it all, so if you guys had success on a base like this, you know, definitely leave it down in the comments below, and we could all learn something from it. But since the Zookas did die, let's go ahead and have some fun on a player base. I'm going to fill my first, or my biggest boats up with medics. And then we're going to just go, this is like going to be the epitome of easy because of how boosted up we are. But we're going to go with 3 heavies, 3 Zookas, and 2 boats of medics. So we'll finish those up. And let's find a tough player base. I think we got some high level ones here. We've got a 59 and I think we had a 62, but I cleared it in a stream. So I don't have that 62 anymore. This guy's pretty ranked up though. So definitely going to be a formidable opponent. Let's take out the shock launcher first on the right side. First, we're going to go with an artillery if we need it. Yeah, 1 more artillery. And then on the left side, we could take out this shock launcher as well. I'll just throw what I threw at the other one off the bat, and that should take it out. Yep. And now we can try to do some damage to the shock blaster, but he's going to have the health of a goddess right now as we try to take him out. I'll throw some critters. It's a prayer, but maybe the critters, yes, they can do it. So now, heavy. Zooka, 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 once the heavies have landed, and some medics. There we go. So let's distract with those critters. I'll throw a shock bomb there. I was seeing if it could span that, but if you have a 2 gap on the side of a building with a building 2 away on both sides, it's just too far for a shock bomb. So we can hit a rocket and boom cannon. That'll be fine. A lot of mines up front, but the Zookas seem to be doing okay with it. It's a pretty tough base, keep in mind, but it's not Gearheart tough. That was a good shot. We hit 2 boom cannons and a rocket. The rockets are going to be the death of us, so we have to make sure we get to those guys quickly. As soon as the rockets come out of shock, they're going to be going straight for my Zooks, and I'm really used to using tanks. Like right now, if that, oh, I threw a med kit just in case. But if the rockets just start shooting Zookas, they don't even have to like go very far with it. As soon as they start shooting them, it's pretty much GG. I've got a lot of medics behind my Zookas at the moment. This guy's a doom cannon in the back of his base, so I'm going to throw some critters to act like mini heavies and just make everything shoot them. Just please save my Zookas. Man, this video, if we wouldn't have beat this base, let's see, we're getting close here. HQ is getting close to falling down. I have Zookas just all over the place, also helping out with some collateral buildings there. There we go, a 59, a pretty high level base, just taken out with a pretty simple heavy Zooka medic. And yeah, it's not as easy as I thought it would be, because with Doom Cannons and prototype defenses, the game's a little more balanced for the defender at this point. We got a 50, a 55, 50, 44. How'd you get on my map? Here's a 58, so let's see what we can do against Stolly. And this will be the last one here. So 650, 58, Doom Cannon on the beach. In this situation, I think the shock bomb would be a better use of our gunboat for right there. I think we can take the rockets out though, because the rockets seem to be, you know, just as deadly once my heavies do fall. There's a shock blaster right in front of the HQ. We'll leave that for now, and let's see if we can just take both of these out real nice and easy. Come on, make it easy on us. Shock launcher, and I'll drop my troops while that is all being played out. Here we go. So I'm going to go shock this group right here. That's going to be instant death. We're going to go and worry about the boom cannons in a bit, but not right now. Alright, shock launcher and doom cannon. Two big bad boys right there. We're going to make sure they stay shocked. I'll throw critters on the left, critters on the right, and then let's see. Shock launcher goes down, doom cannon I don't care about anymore. Now it's about getting this rocket out of the picture, shocking this shock blaster, and then distracting the boom cannons. The doom cannon did go down, and the rocket is down, all nice and easy. And one more shock on that shock blaster. Keep it suppressed. I can't even see. I like using tanks because like you can actually see your troops. When you're using the heavy Zooka after using all tanks, it's like you can't even see where half your troops are. They're like in the trees. The Zookas blend in with the grass and the mines so much that you're never gonna see them. They're just gone. And then all of a sudden you win the battle and you're like, oh, I guess the Zookas were still alive. But the HQ right there will fall in just a bit. Come on, there it goes right there. Stolly 23. So I'm a little bit disappointed about Gearheart. Didn't really rage as hard as I thought I would, but I'm mostly just confused. I don't know. Maybe boosted warriors would have been better there. I saw someone get close in our task force, but it wasn't for us today. I'm going to go back and just build my most fun troops, which are Scorchers and tanks, because that, you just drop them and then deal with what you can with the gunboat and kind of just watch the show happen. Whereas these attacks, it's really more manipulating the gunboat abilities perfectly if you want to have any of your troops survive. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the little fail on Gearheart there. And as always, for everything Boom Beach, you know what to do because you're already doing it. Keep it tuned right here. I'm Nick at Night, and I'll talk to you guys in the next episode.